Welcome back to another episode of Twanna Y'vette Speaks. I am your host, Twanna Y'vette, and for the next few minutes, we'll be talking about popular headlines in the news.
Hey guys. All right. One of my friends on YouTube, she had um gotten a hold of Monique's husband's apology about his behavior on the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. And I was like, they're watching the internet really tight, or I should say Monique is, because Chris says that he doesn't, get into all this stuff or whatever. Let's listen to this apology and see what you guys think.
Chris, the only thing he said during that live was that if he were a woman, he would have beat them up or whatever.
But at the end of the day, let me make this clear for the third
For
time.
the third time, y'all.
You don't have to put the camera on.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into all of this. For the third time, I only lashed out because of my child. I was out of frustration from my child being brought into a whole bunch of mess. But honestly, it was a
Choice of words.
poor choice of words. I didn't control the situation. I let the situation control me. I'm embarrassed for my comments. I feel awful because anybody that knows me and has had a personal relationship with me, they know that that's not my character.
We know.
Listen, let me.
My husband is not a woman beater.
No.
Trust me, I wouldn't even be with him. But what he said was based off of pure emotion.
Can I finish?
You said you wasn't trying to
You
get
just
us
asked me to say something, so I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
I feel awful. I'm embarrassed about what I said, and hopefully anybody that I offended, they can forgive me. It's a tough situation what we're going through, with my child and everything. But at the end of the day, that's not the typical me to lash out and do something like that.
We know, but everybody has moments of losing control because of the emotions. We're human, so to all y'all non-humans out there that had an issue with it, maybe there's a planet where there's perfect people, and y'all can go join it. Because at the end of the day, when you start talking about our children, that's when you've crossed a line. And of course, you're going to say things that you probably shouldn't say.
That's not me.
And he came back the next day without being prompted. He ain't need no publicist.
Early that next
and he ain't
morning.
need nobody to tell him that he should apologize. He came back and he did it on his own.
Right, but now early.
He actually hijacked my Entertainment Tonight interview. And he basically felt bad about it and apologized. And then that night, I went live with Karen, and he apologized as well.
Yeah, because I respect women and men.
We know, baby. Listen, if
right,
anybody, I'm just saying, anybody who's watched the show, you're doing too much explaining. Anybody that's has watched the show, y'all know Chris is a stand-up guy. So ain't nobody think about that. Kids are off limits. Thank you. He had every right to say what the heck he said. And if somebody got a problem with it, they can kiss my whole behind.
No, but I should have said it.
Don't talk about people's kids. How about that?
All right. Looky here. This is just my, 2 cents or whatever. Um, Nobody was, well, I can't say that. I can only speak for myself. Nobody that I know was talking about their kids. What I saw was people questioning why this was even happening. How come nobody knew that Monique was being questioned by her husband about an affair that could have led to the baby not being Chris's? That's what the whole thing was. I don't think it had anything to do with anybody maliciously trying to bring in drama against the baby. And I mean, here's the thing. All of you people that are on this show, all of y'all, except for Candace, y'all have children. And so I agree with somebody said kids are off limits. Yeah. Um, but stop making stupid choices that affect your children. That would help a lot. Um, and don't throw stones at people when you live in a glass house because your stuff is going to come out. Now, Monique is having to defend her actions with the personal trainer, what the former friend had to say. And, Chris, to me, he hasn't addressed what made him think that Monique was having an affair. I don't know. It may not even be important to them. But what is important is the safety of the children and the integrity of the family. And to me, everything has been compromised. This is one of the shadiest, low down seasons of the Real Housewives of Potomac I have ever seen. And it seems like that all of this stuff got dragged out of several closets when Monique put her hands on Candace. And I hate that that fight happened because it's a whole bunch of stuff that's coming out. They're not even filming right now, and stuff is just flying out of the woodwork. Videos are popping up all over. The Real Housewives of Potomac have never been on the internet and in the media like they have been the last few weeks. These last couple of days, I mean, my God. I'm sitting here like, what is going on with these people? Why are they doing this? What is this? I don't understand. Like, if you don't want your business out in the street, then don't put somebody else's business out in the street. And of course, I'm not Team Jamal Bryant one little bit, but I can say that, Monique, you set the tone when you brought the notebook out. Of course, somebody was going to retaliate. Anybody. You said it yourself. People are human. So, people are going to retaliate. There's no reason for you to be upset about it. You knew something was going to happen. You weren't just going to jump Candace and things were going to be okay. You weren't just going to bring a notebook of what you call receipts out and everything was going to be okay. But I got to say, as a fan, I did not see all of this stuff flying out of the closet because of that instance. What I would have liked to seen, is both of the ladies just shut up, just sit down and be quiet and act like human beings. Instead, Monique got so upset that she grabbed Candace's hair, wine started flying everywhere, hands and fists and everything was just flying all over the place. Food, did we see food jump off the table? You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, while Monique is not feeling any remorse for anything she did, she's losing friends in the circle, as well as, Candace is thinking, well, she doesn't care because she didn't see what was going on. She didn't see Monique going to the pastor, and she didn't see what happened at Karen's house. So you know what I'm saying? Listen, the let me hold your baby Ashley moment was a bit much. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even fall for the tears at Karen's house, but when you picked up the baby, that was it. It was like, so now Ashley's baby is a prompt. Can I hold the baby? And Ashley's like, sure. I'm like, did y'all have that planned or something? Was that a plan? But anyway, that was stupid. And then Jamal coming to his own defense and not Giselle's defense on his live stream was stupid. There are a lot of stupid things going on. A lot of stupidity, is being done. And I don't know if it's, to keep people's names relevant. I don't know if it's to put a spotlight, on the drama. I mean, it's seeping, desperate out of pores of people. Like, it's nasty all of a sudden. It's not like we want to see. And I feel bad for Wendy because she, stepped in on the tail end, so she doesn't even know what's going on. Like, she's probably shocked. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like she's not coming back, but I bet next season she'll tread lightly, and she'll be more attentive. She'll be more watchful of these ladies because it's crazy. It is crazy. I'm really eager to see if Monique is safe and, she'll be returning or maybe she won't. I don't know. Candace is going into a musical career. I can't see Real Housewives of Potomac without Candace, but, she might be like I'm not coming back on the show if Monique is coming back on the show. I mean, you never can tell what's going to happen. The only thing we, the fans, have is a history of the Real Housewives franchise where, you know, housewives have said, well, I won't share a stage with this one. I won't, be seen with that one. You won't, do any footage of me and her in the same room. And that's been across the board with New York and Orange County. And, now we have Salt Lake City, we have Dallas. Like, there's even a British, Real Housewives. I mean, and they all say the same thing when they get, bent out of shape about stuff. It's ridiculous that at one time everybody was friends, and now, you know, I hate to use the word alliance, but there does seem to be a sort of alliance with some of these women because of the fact that Monique jumped Candace. And the only friends that she seems to have is Karen, who's trying to be on everybody's side, and Ashley, who's clearly on Monique's side. She was trying to forge a relationship with Candace, but like I said before, after Ashley decided to write this character witness letter for Monique, Candace felt betrayed. Their friendship is probably over. Somebody told me yesterday that they're okay now. I don't know. Um, but I did take efforts to start following them on social media, so I can, kind of sift some things out for you guys. So, um, I don't know. This is a whole mess. And I feel bad for everybody involved because at the end of the day, real friends are not easy to come by, especially in a pandemic, especially when, cities are being shut down again, quarantining, is constant. You need to get on the phone and, talk to somebody or have a texting buddy or, whatever. And I'm sure these people have friends outside of what we see on the Real Housewives franchise. But if you're going to be on a reality show, with five or six, seven other women, the least you guys could do is to try to build real friendships that last because, you're letting everybody in the world in on your lives. And so it would be nice for a change if we can see more happiness and more togetherness instead of all this drama and all this bull. And if drama does happen to seep in, that you're there for each other, supporting each other. Me, I for one would like to see more of that and less of, the fighting against each other. It's really sad when you don't get that, when you can't see, a lot of the people, merging together, to, stand tall, stand proud with each other. I think that's really sad. No, not everyone is going to get along, but you don't have to make the situation worse. So I'm glad that Chris Samuels apologized. I think that was very big of him, even though Monique kept cutting him off and he couldn't get a word in edgewise. That was a big step, that he apologized. And so we're happy to see that. I'm wondering though, and this is just my commentary and my opinion, okay? I'm wondering if Pastor Jamal Bryant has taken an opportunity to apologize to um, Giselle for not being by her side um, at the reunion, and he should have also apologized for the live stream. I feel like he should have been there. She should have been with him. They should have been together on that live stream. If in fact that is, your woman, if you guys are reconciling, if you're getting back together, um, because it looks like what the fans are saying is true and what some of the cast members are saying. That's what it looks like. It looks like you allowed Bravo to film you with Giselle and the kids for camera time and possibly to give Giselle more of a meaty, juicier storyline. She didn't need any help keeping a storyline, in my opinion. Giselle has a huge personality. She didn't need any of this. She just got a house. Um, they could have filmed more like her daughters in the restaurant. If in fact that is their restaurant, people are saying that it's not. We don't know. All we know is like, what you guys tell us, what the cast, lets out of the bag or whatever. So we don't know if Jamal, bought that 100% or if there are business partners or whatever. But it looks good on the show. It made for good TV. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's what this was all about. Maybe it was all about for good TV. The one thing I can say for sure, um, as having a little bit of experience on reality TV behind the scenes, all of this stuff is not scripted. That I can say for sure. Some of this stuff is, but a lot of it is not. I would say about 95% of it is not. And what I mean by that is there's always going to be a team of producers to get you to amp up a riff in your relationship. They'll start to ask questions and they'll start have you ever thought about doing this or have you ever thought about saying that? Um, that is semi scripted. You know what I'm saying? If you get into a beef with somebody and they don't like the way it went, they may have you to refilm that, and give it a bigger fire, if you will. And so, yeah, some of these producers help the cast members make things bigger than what it is, have you to get more upset about something. They're always going to be asking the cast members, questions, and they'll always have to refilm stuff because maybe the camera didn't get them in, a good enough light. Because you can't anticipate everything that's going to happen. You hardly can anticipate an argument that's going to happen or something that could potentially be an argument, or if somebody's going to drop tea, when the ladies are sitting and they're doing their confessionals as opposed to being out at a restaurant or at a get together, or on the phone or text messaging. You can't really anticipate that stuff. But when I say scripted, I mean that the producers some of them have a job to where, their job is to blow things up a little bit bigger. Um, I wish it wasn't like that, but this is television and that's the way it is. But the truth of the matter is the situations are real. How they elevate could be a little scripted, but I kind of feel like in this situation, the allegations of is that child that Monique was carrying, is it her husband's? I think that was a little harsh. Whether it was Sharice that brought that up or another cast member of Real Housewives of Potomac, a present cast member, I don't know, but I felt like that was going a little bit too far. But I wasn't shocked because when you bring a binder to the reunion and everybody in it has a tab, so you could just flip to it, so you can have all the bones fall out of the closet, something is going to happen. And that's what I hate about this stuff is it's always going to be a tit for tat. Well, you can't talk about me because you so and so and so and so, and it's a little juvenile. I wish they had an opportunity to say stuff out loud or to think it out in their heads before they actually, do something, and don't let things get too far to where you can never be at a point of no return. And that's what I hate because Candace and Monique, I think they had a real relationship. And I didn't see anything that warranted this friendship going so left. I mean, leave me something in the comments below if you guys saw something, because I just did not. I didn't see any argument or whatever that was so huge that it had to get this far. Both of them, cackle at each other like hens, back and forth, but so do all the ladies. I think the person that has the least to say on this cast is Robin, because she's obsessed with Juan. And she's even more obsessed with him because, she's got the ring now. So, I guess she'll be planning a wedding next season. Possibly we'll get to see some of that. I don't know what will happen with it, but I do know that Ashley's husband didn't seem convinced, so I know that's going to be a plot thriller if they're back on the show. And we just don't know what's going to happen. I feel like for the safety of the men, Ashley's husband may want to rethink even being on the show. I think that Ashley has enough of a storyline with her children and stuff that he doesn't even have to be a part of the show if, you know, they're they have a fear of safety or whatever. But at the same time, it may be stupid to take him out of the equation, because then, what storyline would Ashley have? You know what I mean? I'm sure they could talk about him without him being on camera, but at the same time, I feel, I just feel like if he keeps grabbing people's butts and he keeps showing up in hotel rooms, that it's going to be a big old mess. You know what I mean? I think that all these women have stuff going on in their lives, and if they choose to show it on a housewives, franchise like the Real Housewives of Potomac, that's great and that's brave. But I also feel like you need to be very careful with what you say on these platforms, because things could be taken out of context. Things could be, just people just run, with a little bit of something and just blow it into something, so big that you can't come back from it. And so I think that they need to take this time out while they're not filming, to rethink some of the things that they've done. They need to look at the footage and say, am I in a good light here, to get their good name back? Because at this point, you know, I got a couple of favorites on the show, and if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't watch it again. But I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say about this, because I could talk about this all day. But I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say about the apology. And I also want to hear what you guys have to say about Pastor Jamal Bryant. I know you guys are still commenting on the last live stream that we have, but this is a new piece of information that I had, and I have to give a shout out to Roxy NYC. That is a new friend of mine here on YouTube, for posting that, and saying, hey girl, look at this. Otherwise I probably would not have known about the apology, because I don't follow Monique on Instagram anymore. It's just too much, you know what I'm saying? And I might even have to go on a social media fast after this, because I have never in my life not been this busy on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, for God's sake. But let me know what you guys think, okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you guys, none of this would even be happening. I love you guys so much. Thank you for riding with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to all of my new members. I so appreciate you guys. And I will keep up with this story. Don't forget to be safe out there. Mask it up. And as always, live on purpose. And I will be talking to you in another video. Bye for now.